Hi guys, it's Michelle Patterson here with Angel Souls, and this is your weekly Angel Oracle card reading for the week beginning, what would that be, December 28th, I want to say, 2015. I have it on my notes, but it's over there. Sorry about it. Anyway, you know, December 28th-ish. So, yeah, I think this week I'm going to be using a new deck. Oracle of the Angels by Mario, I think is Duguay. Oh, I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly, but there is the cover if you're interested. And then, of course, pulling a color card from the Secret Language of Color Oracle deck by Anna Segal. If you would like a personal reading with me, my website is angelsouls444.com. Go to the services page. Please read and pay attention to how I deliver it and what to expect. Some issues have come up around expectations. Okay, and I just ask that you take a look at that. You can also refer to a video that I did on my channel that talks about how to find the right medium for you. I should also let you know that this is a very busy time of year for readings. So if you want, the wait time is still going to stay the same, but if you want one, especially before January, February, you might want to get in line, because that's where I'm like, yay for me, right? I'm not bragging. I'm not trying to brag. But like realistically, I mean, these are busy months for me. So just a heads up, I guess, is what I'm saying. All right, so let's get into it. Potential. I love it when I'm like doing these readings and I'm plugging in for you guys. Sorry, I had to go out of frame for a second. I'm in a very high chair, so my stuff is down there. Excuse me. I love it when I'm doing these messages for you guys and then they just kind of like come in and whisper something. And the thing that they're whispering is possibilities. Possibilities. So something came up for a lot of us around the 25th, maybe. I check with your astrologers. I think maybe, what was that, a full moon in Cancer? I don't really know what I'm talking about with that. So don't take my word for that. But what we were talking about is just this, like these major events kind of happening around that time, but around your heart, or with family, or finally realizing what's important and feeling like you can let go of what's not so important, right? So now they're saying because you've done some bit of clearing last week, you're coming into a week full of possibilities. So let's get into it. Let's see what they're talking about. And recovery. There's a lot of recovery kind of things going on. And yeah, we could laugh like, ha ha, recovery from the holidays. But I think it's, you know, obviously it's far deeper than that. This is you recovering your light. So even if you're out there and you're one of those people who you think, see, I run across this too a lot, and no judgment, but I run across a lot of people who are not humble in their spirituality. So they're like, no, I've been doing this for forever, and you know, I know everything, and they're going around telling everybody else what they don't know, and you can't really do that, especially in this day and age. I just saw, thank you, Troy, by the way. I'm recording these all on the same day, the last week's and this week's and then next week's. But Troy sent me this great video by this lovely lady. She's like 19 years old, and I'm sitting there like, holy cow, she's really got some beautiful messages coming through. And you know, it wouldn't be fair for someone who is older to look at her and say, you don't know what you're talking about. You know, Teal Swan, perfect example. She's young too, and look at her. She's got lots of beautiful guidance coming through her as well. So, you know, hey, so let's be a little, for some reason that's coming up, let's be a little humble with what we think we know, all right? And thank you. They're saying that taps into an old, I don't know why this is coming up, but it taps into this old mentality of, for someone to be open and spiritual and to be really tapped into their quote-unquote gifts, right, which everybody has, but some people want to practice them. You used to have to study kind of quietly, and it was almost like a club, they're saying, and it was just a different kind of environment. And now everybody out there in their own good time will be tapping into that part of them and bringing that forward. We need to be doing that. I said this a few weeks ago. If we don't start tapping in, we're screwed. I mean it, okay? So we all got to get there, right? So yeah, so it's almost like a generational kind of gap thing around the wisdom and the way it comes forward and who it comes through, and any sort of judgment around that, or feeling forgotten. Yeah, or some I don't know why this is coming up. Someone out there needs to hear this. Some other generation feeling like they're being forgotten or overlooked or not being honored for how hard they had to struggle. That's what it is. I don't know. You just have to see what that means for you and how that plays out in your world. Okay. To the cards. To the cards we go. Oh, there's a card wanting to come out. Angel Whispers. Aw, I think I'm gonna like this deck. It's cute. It's not cute, it's powerful. Powerful and cute. There's power and cuteness. All right. Never alone. This is gonna make my heart ache, I think. A door to the infinite. Cool. And the top one, I heard you. Inner peace. Woo. Okay, that's your recovery. Let me put this deck down so we can talk about this. Let's get into it. Okay. Ugh. So the first card we have is Angel Whispers. It's so beautiful. And then, I'm sorry, but I gotta kind of tell this as a story. I can't hold them all up at the same time. But again, it's like Angel Whispers, never alone, inner peace, a door to the infinite. So look at how this is sort of unwinding this week. So the possibilities are endless. You are not alone, which is what the second card says. I'll hold it up here in a second. But this is saying that because of what you've let go, because of what you've broken open, they're going to come in and give you a little word. They're going to come in and whisper to you, right? I always say, one day, I actually hope to be put out of business because people learn how to do this for themselves. What I do is not special. It's not. You're probably already doing it. You're just not calling it anything, which is okay. You don't have to. But they are encouraging you. It's that flash of inspiration sometimes or a great idea. Now, what you do get better and better at is discerning what is, maybe your higher self talking to you or a spirit guide or an actual angel. But the angels are in full effect this week. They always are, but you guys are going to perceive them. You are going to hear them or feel them, or in some way or another, you're going to be perceiving. And that's just amazing. From that, you learn, first of all, look at this card. She's opening up her inner light. And she's realizing that she never was, she is not now, and she never will be left alone. We always have guardians. And I don't do that too much, do I? I don't talk too much about guardian angels because I just kind of take it as a given. But everyone is always flanked by angels. You are never, ever, ever alone, no matter whether it feels that way or not. I mean, and there are times, again, a lot of you guys know that I'm very human, obviously, but there are times where I get really down too because I'm exhausted or whatever, and I'll lay there and I'll just be like, and I won't even try to get like an actual message. I'll just be like, can you just come in here and like put like I don't know, like a blanket of love over me so I feel nice again? Cool. And then I'm off to sleep and it's all good, right? But what they're telling me is to explain to you guys a little bit more about guardian angels. So there are no rules around guardian angels. You don't just have one typically, unless you are like on your last incarnation and you're like, hey, it's okay, I can give my other guardian angels the day off while I go through this lifetime. But typically you have more than one, and you think you only have one because you got a really loud one who is always like kind of more in your face than the other one. The other one I always kind of joke is mission control. So they're like the quiet one that's kind of like, okay, get that message to her or him, okay, I see this coming down the road, let them know about some guidance about that and see if they figure it out, kind of thing. But at different times in your life, at least the way I've understood it, and I'm getting their encouragement to say this, whenever you're going through something, more angels can come in, but they might hang back a little bit. So if you ever think about a time where you've been going through something really rough, if you really think about it, if you've really been paying attention, at some point it feels like you're just about to break excuse me, in that emotion. and then you fall again. Well, that break in the emotion is just sort of like the other angels kind of go, we're kind of here. And then maybe you don't accept it and you fall back into it. Now, I got privy to it. I was like, hey, I know what that is now. Thank you for the message. So when I'm having a hard time and I'm feeling that break in the emotion, I'm like, yep, who is it? I know what this is now. Come on in. And I invite them in. The angels cannot help you unless you invite them in. They go by God's law. So, they have to honor free will. So you always have angels there. You always have beings that want to help you out. All right. And you don't have to force an experience. See, that's the thing too. When people are like, I don't know how to hear my angels. I don't know how to do this, that, and the other. That's okay. Why do you have to hear them? Maybe that's not your strongest ability. Maybe it's just feeling. Not just, but maybe it's feeling. Maybe it's just knowing. Again, with the just, I didn't mean that. But, if you just kind of relax in to, okay, not trying to force an experience. They're saying if you just sort of lay into our arms, it's almost like trust falling, right? Like they got their arms up and like, no, trust us, go ahead and fall, it's okay. But you just kind of ease into it. It's not something that really has to be complicated. Now, at times when you feel really disconnected, ceremony can be incredibly powerful, right? You've heard of people making angel altars. Now, altars are not for worship, at least in my mind, okay? Like you do whatever you're going to do with your altar. But for me, an altar is just to help me get focused. It's bringing physical objects together and they have energy, right? So it's like focusing that energy, but it also focuses me. And now it's more powerful because whenever I'm meditating or I'm pulling something into my existence, now I really have it amped up. It's not because, crystals are amplifiers, let's say, for example, and that's all well and good. But it's the act of me putting it there and saying, this is going to amplify my intentions. It's a reminder. It's something I can see. I'm a physical being. I need that. Okay, so those are just a few things that you should be aware of. Okay, and if you feel like you need a little help getting focused or whatever, put together an angel altar. And real quickly, what that can entail is anything you stinking want. Okay, it can be depending on your, I have the camera set up in the middle of my angel altar. So I have my sage. I have two gigantic, I would reach for them, but they're kind of out of reach. Two gigantic hunks of rose quartz, rhodochrosite. I have, what is that? Oh, pink calcite. Got all kinds of stuff. Anyway, point being is I got this whole grid here. But if I wanted to, I could put angel figurines there or whatever. Okay, to just kind of help you remember well, this is actually to manifest love. But whatever you're trying to create in your world, put representations of that around. If you want to heal somebody, working with Raphael, get all the stones that resonate with Raphael and put a picture of your beautiful loved one there when they're super, super healthy. And, meditate on vibrancy and good health coming back to them. It's just stuff like that. Okay? I don't know why we went really off on a tangent, but I think it was good. All right. So the next card we have is a door to the infinite. Thank you. They said these are the possibilities. Now, you're not messing around anymore. You're not taking the hard road anymore. You're listening to the angels. You're hearing what they have to say. And look how beautiful these cards are. I love this artwork. I'm trying to keep my finger kind of out of the way so I'm not blocking any of the words. A door to the infinite, plugging back into the divine, and remembering yourself. Remembering yourself. That is going to be a big thing that comes up for you guys this week. And I don't have to say much about that. I really don't. And it also leads to inner peace. So if you are having disharmony, especially with other people in your life, you can work with Archangel Raguel to, they're saying heal the ties between you and another. But look at how beautiful that is. You're walking into that golden light. For last week, the card was gold. So this is what we're talking about. Life doesn't need to be as tumultuous as we think it does. Okay. Hold on. When I get quiet, I'm just listening. If I'm just staring at you blankly, that's because stuff's coming in. Okay, listen carefully. If you've gotten impatient and shut this off, sorry for you because you're about to miss something good. We're going to talk about love. How many of you out there Okay, there's obviously there are going to be different groups. So I'm speaking specifically to a group of people who have been married for many, many years. I don't know. They just said define that as 18 plus years. I don't know why. I don't know why 18. So that's one group. And then there's a group of you out there who have been single for a very long time by choice. Single a very long time by choice. So you're choosing to be on your own and grow your own soul. We set it up, so now what? Wow. So look at how dichotomous that is. So people who are strictly on their own and then people who have been in long-term partnerships. I guess the rest of you just hang tight for a second. Let's see if anything comes through. But they're saying that the people who have been in these committed relationships, some of you, I mean, you're really being challenged right now. And I mean, a connection like that needs a lot of nurturing and a lot of recognition that after a certain time, you're not just going to have the butterflies, it gets into deep intimacy. So for some, it's going to be different for everybody. But for those who are experiencing issues in your marriage, for some of you, it's time to go. It's time to go. It's not like the angels are going to come in and advocate divorce, but they don't go by our human conventions. They don't even have a deep understanding of that because a lot of them have not incarnated as humans. So what they're really just seeing is your authentic energy and the connections that have been held there. So some of you, you're not in a healthy relationship. Okay, thank you. They're saying marriage doesn't have to mean a certificate. So if you've been with somebody for 18 plus years, dang it, you married. Come on now, you married. Your energies are already like collided into one another. Forget about it. There's a little New York for you. But yeah, some of you, it's time to leave that old situation. But they're encouraging as amicably as possible. So there are going to be some people who are making that decision and going off. For others of you in that kind of committed area, time to stop blaming your partner. And again, start taking accountability and seeing where you need to make amends. It's not always just about your partner, and that's going to tick off a lot of people, and it's fine. I'm used to it by this point. Shoot, do your worst, whatever. Now, for the people who have chosen to be single, have chosen it, not like, oh, I'm online dating and I just haven't met anybody yet. No, people who have actually been like the hermit, where they've kind of backed off and said, with the intention, I need to work on me. I need to be okay in my own energy before I can be a partner. People who are in that deep understanding. I'm about to say something, and I don't throw this around lightly. If you know me at all, you know I'd never use this term. You're prepping for a twin flame. Over the course of the next year, and it's breaking open in this week somehow. It doesn't mean they're coming this week. Maybe. If they do, report back. But for many of you, it's someone you haven't met yet. For many of you. Not everybody, but for many of you, it's somebody you haven't met yet. So there's some twin flame connection happening. I fall into that category. I've chosen to be single for years. For years. Not messing with dating. I was just like, nope. Like, I got a business to do. I got to get on my path. I got to work on my spirit. I got to get back to this other stuff because this is just, it just felt like it was draining me. But for everybody else in between, is there a message for everybody else? Keep on the way that you are, but always be mindful of your intentions. Constantly ask yourself, am I just being in a relationship because I'm afraid to be with my own energy? Am I just going out there because society says I'm a loser if I don't go out on a Saturday night? Oh my God. I'm bite my tongue right now. Oh, I can't bite my tongue. Okay, if you're one of those people who just thinks like, oh my God, if I'm not out every Saturday night, then I'm a loser. You calling me a loser? I stay in every Saturday night because I like it. Because, I'm older too, but you don't have to force yourself into experiences because that's what society says. So you're supposed to want to go out every weekend. If you don't feel like it, you don't have to, because there's a reason why we're saying this, because it's really imperative at this time to be centered and to be grounded within you. And you can't do that unless you kind of get to know you, right? So, okay, social butterflies out there, I don't know how, good luck. I don't know how that works. Because they're showing me that a lot of people who feel the need to go out all the time, that's just an example. Or what I'm saying is just like be around people quite often. You're getting muddled up with everybody else's energies, their expectations, their opinions. Oh, take a lesson from me, you big sister Michelle, okay? I don't take kindly to people being critical. I mean, it's not, maybe that's not much to work on. Maybe I get defensive. But when somebody's posing to be a friend of mine and they're making little comments about things, or they're just not there, they're just not showing up, I'm like, bye. I'm fine. No problem. And remember that you don't need to exert your energy. You don't need to pull focus. Thank you. You don't need to pull focus away from you to give over to someone else's expectations because they say you should go out, blah, blah, blah. I think you get it. Cool. Anything else to that end? There's something about love. Time to realize what love actually is. Time to realize what love actually is. And some of you out there, this is, okay, I guess I'm speaking to guys, I don't know, or a guy out there, someone. You're seeking, you're constantly seeking, and you're not finding. And again, it's time to, put the brakes on that a little bit and come within. Okay? Whoa. Wow. I didn't see that one coming. Again, I give it to you raw, and I don't do much editing on these unless I'm like, breaking into a coughing fit or something. I might edit that out, but there it is. So let's get on to the color card for this week. They're flying out of my hands. Oh, I'm getting disorganized here. Okay. I would encourage everyone to breathe. I wonder if it's going to be something around love. And it just so happens too, like I said, I have like a crystal grid of love here. And it's unconditional love too. It's not just romantic love. It's love of all kinds. I'm trying to pump a little love into this world. So if you can feel the energy of the grid that I have right here, by all means, use it. Can I stop? Yeah, okay. Card is, here we go. Oh, it's upside down. Auburn, ground yourself. The number is 11. So a lot of sacred energy. And it makes sense because we have all those beautiful kind of like angel messages, like very like angels are going to be whispering to you and all that stuff. And this is here, but ground yourself. So this is striking a balance. And 11, as you know, is a master number. So, but that's also the repeating ones. That is an angel sign, usually. It's a call to ascension. It's spirit, it's angels. They're all trying to get your attention when you see that repeatedly. That's usually, I think, at least in my experience, when people talk about the angel number signs that they get, it changes. A lot of people who are just starting out tend to get the 1111, or when I need a refresh and I know that it's time to get back on my ascension path, if I've kind of wandered off and gotten too involved in this, that, or the other, 1111 will pop up everywhere. So this is asking you again to strike the balance because you are going to be kind of feeling like you're being pulled up into the upper realms. There's going to be a lot of love there. I mean, it's all about love, but they don't want you to mess up the earthy love either. That's why they're talking to the married people. It's why they're talking to the people who are single, who might be feeling like, oh, I should just go get a boyfriend, No. No, don't be doing that. Stay grounded. Or the people in between, if you're dating or whatever, just really always come back to you and try to really shield yourselves from letting anybody's energy or opinions or criticisms or whatever infiltrate you, okay? And always come back to you. So this, they're saying, say it again, please. Because they were starting to say about Gaia, which is a typical message when we talk about grounding. Plug into the love of Gaia. So if you're one of the people sitting there going, boohoo, nobody loves me. It's not boohoo, I'm not trying to make fun of you, but like literally like, oh, nobody loves me. I just heard them say nothing could be further from your earthly truth. So even if you don't have anybody around you, first of all, I love you. You have my love. Even the people who are mean or, whatever, critical or what, I still love you. Even my worst enemy, I love you. I do. And Gaia loves you, and the angels love you, and God loves you, and every ascended master out there loves you. So, never worry about that. All right. Our physical story, it needs to go away now. Some of these things are a portion of that physical story. So again, that thing that says love looks like this, love is only between this person and this person, or whatever, we're wiping that away. And that can cause a lot of discomfort. However, because you've already done some of the work, it's going to be, I think, a great week of, I'm just going to say it, angel blessings and miracles. But miracles that come by way of, I heard my angel. I heard my angel speak to me. Oh my goodness, and just feeling and remembering what it was like to be in that innocence and be on the other side. Okay. So, is that it, guys? I guess that's it. Have a great week. Oh, and Happy New Year. How did I miss that one? This is going to be like, I don't really celebrate New Year, but Happy New Year to you. And again, many blessings and miracles for you. I hope you get everything that you want. If you make your wishes at midnight, if you're somebody who does that, and, have a good time, but not too good a time. All right. Take care.